via Facebook is streaming, YouTube is streaming, and Skype is still waiting to be joined. What does Buddha mean by security? Buddha had lived his life in the palace where his father made all the arrangements that he does not get to see anything unpleasant. In the night, all the dried leaves were removed. Every arrangement was made that Buddha does not leave the palace. But on the fateful night, Buddha was leaving the palace, left everything, what we call so-called security. The charioteer asked, "What are you doing? This is madness. You have a palace, you are the only son, you are the owner of the palace and kingdom and all the prosperity. You have wife, you have father, you have the entire family and the security of the family. Where are you going leaving all this? You are the only son, so you are the sole owner of everything. You are leaving this security, this property. Are you mad?" Buddha was listening to all this. He said, "I am going in search of the real property." "Where are you going leaving all this security?" the charioteer asked. Buddha said, "I am going in search of the security." What kind of security Buddha is talking about? The charioteer may be old. Maybe he did not understand. Maybe he thought that Buddha had gotten mad. What else can be a better security than this? Who is more secure than him in the palaces, in the kingdom? Who can be more secure in the palace, kingdom, owner of all this? Only son of the king. There are always flowers on the path. All around there is prosperity, all kind of arrangements for comfort. He has never known thorns, and this man is leaving all this and says that he is going in search of the security. What kind of security is this? Buddha said, what you call the palace is nothing else but mere flames of fire. In reality, living in the palace, there will only be the arrangement for the funeral pyre. Come out of this as early as possible. What you call as security, Buddha calls it as ignorance. It is said that trust God. God is the one who takes care of everything. But you must take insurance. If God is the security, then why do you need insurance? Security of the insurance. Why do you have to take a life insurance? Yes, there are certain things which are essential when you are seeking the bank facilities. You are driving the vehicle on the road. the vehicle must be insured. You are going to the bank for the house loan, the bank wants the insurance for the house. That much can be accepted. But when you are talking about that God is secure and we are all part of one harmony, then what kind of security are you looking for? Buddha says, if you consider yourself loving, if you have understood yourself, then there is no better security than that. The security that Buddha is saying is not the security that comes by the bank balance. It is a different kind of security, not the bank balance, but the riches of the being. How rich is your being? Is your soul? Are you guided by the soul consciousness? You are slave to others. The moment you become your own master, you have not given anybody right or authority to manipulate you. The husband manipulates the wife manipulates the husband. We manipulate the children, we ask them to do what we like to do. We do not give them the freedom. So all the dominance of the other is false, because today your husband is dominating you or wife is dominating you, but one day death will take away that. All these are the ways to secure yourself from death, because death destroys all your arrangements. Freedom means you are the master of your own. You are not guided by conditionings. You are not guided by the priest. You are not guided by this or that and so. I have heard there are certain things that we call the beliefs, or we can say these are the wrong notions. Sometimes it is said that the people go by these kind of things. You are going somewhere, all of a sudden a cat crosses your way. It is considered as a bad sign. So people will return and they will not go. So things like that are the way of our life. It is said that you will go to the priest, that you have financial problem, you will say do this prayer or that, light this incense or that. There are so many candles are available. The candle for peace, the candle for this. There are incense are available. The incense for prosperity, the incense for goodwill, incense for this. Someone asked me one day, in the store we have to keep all these things for the ignorant ones. They are asking for those. So person asked me, which one is good for prosperity? I said the best thing for prosperity is your own willpower. If you have capabilities, you explore that, the prosperity will come to you. These are not so important, but you can use, nothing is wrong When you use an incense, a kind of a fragrance comes in, it pleases you. And if, let's say, you are sitting in a place where there is bad smell, or your place is air conditioned, the doors are closed, there is no exhaust fan, and food is being cooked. Now the living room and the kitchen are in one, so the smell will remain inside the house. So for that purpose we use exhaust. So if you are using a different kind of incense which gives a pleasant smell, that is good enough, but it has nothing to do for prosperity or anything. Now people keep on saying things, do this for prosperity, do that for money, do this for that. If you have understanding, you know nothing happens with all these things. Psychologically it prepares you. As such, you are not interested in you are not putting your efforts into your business, into your job or anything. But when the priest or any person tells you that you burn clove as an incense, this is for prosperity, you do this. So at least you have put some of your effort into it. So that effort that you had put in to look for the clove, to light it, and it takes a little while because clove is very small, and how are you going to light it? So that effort is important, not that you light the clove. Although all these things have certain the qualities, certain things. I have heard a king was afraid of death, so he built a palace, and he made the palace in such a way that there was not even a single window, just a single door to come in and go out. And on the door he has security. So he has one security, but who can trust that security? And all those people who are afraid, they do not trust this. So there is a one guard, then the next one to guard him. How do you trust that this guard will protect you? Maybe he may join the enemy and will cause you damage. So another security. So like that, there is a long queue of the security personals. Then one day he invited his neighboring king to show him the palace. He was the next king, his friend, he got very surprised, and he thought that he did a very good security. I should also make a palace like this. So he asked the king that you send the people who build the palace for you. While they were talking, standing on the door, there was a beggar who was sitting across the street, and he saw how the palace was built, and he heard the two kings talking among themselves. The other one said that your palace seems to be very secure, why you don't and he thought of making a palace like that for himself also. Hearing the two kings talking among themselves, that beggar started laughing. When the neighboring king said that you have made a very good arrangement of security, now there is no danger, nobody can enter into this palace. So the beggar said it is not a question of danger. And hearing him, both of them looked at the beggar and asked him, why did you laugh? This is not the way. This is indecency. Then the beggar said, whatever you call indecent behavior or something else, but I could not stop laughing. And now I cannot stay without saying anything. So the king said, what do you want to say? The beggar said, I had been on this road and I beg here. I have seen the entire process of the building of this palace, but I see only one palace, one problem. There is one problem in that. That is the one danger. There is only one door. Whether anyone can enter through this door or not because of the security, but death will certainly enter it. Now you should do something, that you go inside and get this door also blocked so that nobody can come inside. Even close this door, because you have left one entrance to the palace. So with that entrance, even death can enter. So what you do, you go inside and block this entrance as well. The king said, are you mad or what? If I go inside and block this entrance, then I have died while living. That will become a grave. Then the beggar said, now you can understand why I was laughing. This has already become a grave with one door, one entrance. How much, whatever security arrangements you make, but you cannot run away from death. So whatever, if you increase the amount of security, that alone will become death. Whatever you had been considering security up to now, that was nothing else but death. Have you saved the life in the name of security, or you have lost it? Whatever Buddha is calling the security, he is emphasizing on knowing the inner truth. There is no better security than knowing the inner truth. Who are you? You have recognized yourself. That alone is the security. I am the ever-expanding consciousness. I am not the body, I am not the mind. You use computer, but can you claim that I am computer? But you consider yourself that I am the mind. You are using the mind. You are using the body. Are you the body or you mind? But you can say, yes, I am the body. Because you know nothing beyond the body. You know nothing beyond the mind. If you know your real form, that I am consciousness, or even to say I am consciousness, first of all you have to say that I am consciousness, then the next step comes the consciousness is. The I also is dropped. When you recognize who you are, that recognition is the security. That recognition, what is your form. To be aware of that is security. To awake from the deep slumber is security. One who has awakened to his innerness, for him there is no death, because he knows that I was never born, never died. Where does soul disappear to? It is said, all the religions say that the soul goes to this region, this place, that place. It goes nowhere. It stays right there where it is. It just happens just as you categorize the things when you are fixing up your room. You put all the things that are to be used in the restroom there, so they are separated. All the items, all the wares, all the grocery that is needed in the kitchen, you keep it in the kitchen or in the pantry. So you separate them according to their needs. One who has awakened to himself, there is no death for him. Death is your unconsciousness. You think that you die. Pandits, the priest, must awake. There are 4 quarters. At least one you must awake. Buddha is not talking about the language of the priest. He means one who is awakened. What is not the one who knows the scriptures. He is not awakened. You may recall, remember, you may memorize all the scriptures, all the important verses from Quran, Surah Fatiha, Surah this and that and so, or the various verses, sutras of Bhagavad Gita, but that is not awakening. The one who is awakened, then you realize the scriptures are within you. So what are these 3 quarters of the life? There are 3. One is waking consciousness. The second is dream consciousness. Third is deep sleep consciousness. 8 hours you are awake. 8 hours you are dreaming, and 8 hours you sleep. It is not necessary when you are awake, you are really awake. But it does not happen. When what you are calling as waking, there is no wakefulness in that. Deep within, you keep on dreaming. That is why we use the word daydreaming. You are sleeping, but you are waking. You are sleeping and you are dreaming all night. When you are awake, you are still dreaming. And all kind of dreams that you cannot do while you are sleeping, that I will buy this car that looks nice, and then that house that we were going to see, it is beautiful, we will change it to that house. So all these dreaming as concerned, it continues the dreams are continuing, you are in a sleep state. You are sitting down. Somebody asks you, what are you doing? And you say, oh, nothing, I'm not doing anything. Is this answer correct? No, certainly it is not correct. You are still dreaming. You are still continuing to dream. You are dreaming while you are awake. And you talk about the security. This seems to be wrong. When you are empty, not doing anything, are you really empty? But you are surrounded by dreams. There is a crowd, there is a marketplace. How many times you would have seen being the president, prime minister, or a rich man, or owner of the big car or the house, all these things. And so what is this? This is a state of sleepness. This is not awakening. Awakening means you are awake to all this. There is no thoughts arising in your mind. Whatever is, is. Whatever is not, is not. If your car needs changing, go and change it. There is no need about thinking about it. When you are hungry, you eat. When you are sleepy, you sleep. And there is no need. So when all this inner noise, inner disturbance, inner chaos disappears, that very moment, you come to the state of awakening. And the moment you have known who you are, that I am neither the body, as Shankar says, mano buddhi ahankar chittani naham. Na main man hu, na buddhi hu, neither I am the mind, nor the intellect, nor the ego, since you are identities. You are a Muslim identity, you are an Indian identity, you are a Hindu identity, you are a Christian identity, you are a rich identity. All these identities keep on playing their chaos within you. The only identity is that I am cosmic. I belong to this cosmos. Aham Brahma Asmi. There are three: Aham, Brahma, Asmi. And how do we say? Aham Brahma Asmi. The most important thing is Brahma. Not Aham, not Asmi. And the moment your focus changes to Brahma, consciousness, this is psychological. You focus on Asmi, which is meaningless. This simply connects the two words, Aham and Brahma. Aham is I, and Brahma is consciousness. You are changing your gear from Aham to Brahma, cosmic. And that's what in India, according to the sanskars, that Vidyarambha sanskar begins when you establish your identity as a cosmic identity, and then you are given the training. If your identity is of a limited identity, then any kind of wisdom, any kind of knowledge given to you will become a tool for destruction, tool for exploitation. Buddha is talking about that security, and that's why he left the palace, the prosperity, the riches and everything, to enter into the search for that inner security, knowing which life becomes secure and everything is known. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, take care and do have a pleasant day.